I have a question. Did you see Mercy in the theaters? Specifically, did you experience Mercy in 4DX? Was the experience good or bad where you saw it? Now, as for me, the 4DX experience was annoying, confusing, distracting, and uncomfortable. There were some major synchronicity slash calibration issues with my experience. The haptic effects were not synchronized with the on-screen visuals at all. There were scenes with no action where the in-theater seats start to rumble or sway, and then there were scenes where there was action but there was no movement from the seats at all. And at some points, I wasn't sure if this is supposed to be like an abstract experience, because I wasn't sure was the movement caused by the character's emotions or a revelation of facts. Even then, the timing of the movements with the dialogue and or acting were out of sync. All 4DX effects were not used. There were scenes that justified the use of effects. There were scenes that didn't justify use of effects. I don't remember any flashes. The fans were not activated. No air blasts from the chairs. No ticklers were activated. No bumps from the backrest. And there were no fragrances. I smelled no fragrances at all. Now, this movie didn't really have scenes where there was a change in atmosphere, so there was no really justification for having any water effects or any bubbles rising or falling particles from the ceiling or no fog being dispensed. But besides that, there was a scene where there's some scenes where this I guess what do you call it, a gyrocopter, some futuristic type of a motorcycle helicopter type thing. Again, kind of like a hovercraft thing that goes up in the air. That would have justified the use of the fan in the theater to be activated, but it didn't come on. So for this movie, it was just straight up seat movements, and that was it. And as the movie was going on, I was wondering if the movements were meant for another movie because it was just so out of sync. So I was trying to remember. I've seen other movies in the same theater. I've seen Wicked for Good, Zootopia 2, Avatar: Fire and Ash. I was trying to see if these movements matched the movements in those movies, but it didn't really. I was thinking maybe Avatar with like the swaying and the rumbling, but I remember there's water in that movie. An air blast, but there's no water spraying or air blast going on in this movie, so that couldn't be the case. Now, the interesting thing about this experience is that the previews before the movie, they were okay. They were pretty good. It's like a Super Mario Galaxy movie, The Mandalorian and Grogu movie, Project Hail Mary. They all had 4DX effects and they were synced just fine. I mean, Super Mario Galaxy had flashes of light, air blasts, and the fan blowing. The Mandalorian and Grogu had light flashes and air blasts and even fog dispensed. Project Hail Mary had a fan blowing. There was air blast and you even smell some fragrances in that one. So the effects were working fine in theater for the preview. So I don't understand why it was going on with the main feature. And I was wondering if those movements were meant for another format. I know there's like another 4D format called D-Box at other theaters. I don't know if I guess the program or the settings were sent to the wrong theater, for 4DX, because it was just straight up, haptics. And then D-Box, that's all it is. It's just movement. There's no other effects like water or wind. It's just the seat. You can adjust even just the settings in the seat, but it's just vibrations from the seat. The seats moving up and down and all that. But D-Box is just movement. So I was just wondering maybe something got sent by accident. I don't know, online or something. I don't know how this thing is set up. But as far as the movie is concerned, the out of sync movements and vibrations would happen randomly throughout the movie's runtime, including during the credits when the movie ended. The jarring movements caused me to have a slight headache that lasted hours after the movie ended. Afterwards, I went out and talked with the manager, and we discussed like what was going on. I mentioned what was going on with the movie, and I wasn't sure if this is like a calibration issue. She mentioned that I should have like went out and talked to her like as soon as it started happening like at the beginning of the movie. But we discussed some things, and basically she told me like the 40X was the settings were set up outside of the theater, so it wasn't like they worked on the settings in the theaters. Just whatever they do outside of the theaters is sent to them. But as far as like calibration, I don't know. Because, like, I mean, none of the other effects work, so I don't know if that was a straight up calibration issue, but it's just, yeah. It was just an odd experience. Now, a good thing is I was offered a movie pass, so I can go see another movie for free. I don't know if I'm going to go see Mercy again in 40X. Maybe after I hear some other people, like, if you're watching this and you've seen it, I'll read the comments to see if anybody had the same experience. I'm just wondering if it was just this theater itself, or was it an outside issue? But yeah, I mean, I would like to give a proper review of the 40X, but I don't know. This experience, I might not. I don't think I'm gonna go back and see it again. So, I mean, I like the movie itself, the movie by itself, but I'd like to know what other people experiences was. So let me know in the comments.